Two siblings can grow up in the same house and still become very different adults. One may chase novelty, the other may prefer routine. One may seem calm under pressure, the other may react quickly. Nature versus nurture is the question behind that difference. How much comes from biology, and how much comes from life experience? Nature means the biological starting point a person brings into the world. It includes genes, temperament, nervous system sensitivity, inherited traits, and physical tendencies. A baby who startles easily, sleeps lightly, or seeks stimulation may already be showing a biological pattern before school, friends, or culture have shaped much of their behavior. Nurture means the environment that shapes the person after that starting point. It includes parenting, safety, nutrition, language, education, friendships, stress, culture, media, and repeated feedback. A child who is praised for curiosity may explore more. A child punished for mistakes may learn to hide uncertainty even when they are capable. The mistake is treating nature and nurture like two enemies fighting for control. In real life, they usually work together. A child may be born sensitive, but the effect of that sensitivity depends on whether the home is patient, chaotic, dismissive, or supportive. The same trait can become anxiety in one setting and empathy in another. Think about height. Genes matter a lot, but nutrition and health still matter. A person may inherit the potential to grow tall, but severe malnutrition can limit that potential. Personality is more complicated, but the principle is similar. Biology may set a range, while experience influences where inside that range someone develops. Temperament is a useful example. Some children are naturally more cautious. They may hesitate before joining a game or meeting a new adult. A warm caregiver can help them approach slowly and safely. A mocking caregiver can make caution feel shameful. The biological trait is not destiny, the response around it changes its meaning. Language also shows the partnership. A child may be born with a brain ready to learn speech, but the actual language depends on the environment. A baby raised around Arabic learns Arabic. A baby raised around Spanish learns Spanish. The capacity is biological, but the content comes from repeated exposure. Even intelligence cannot be explained by one side alone. Genetics can influence learning speed, memory, and attention. But sleep, stress, books, teachers, encouragement, and practice can change performance dramatically. A child who looks less capable in a noisy classroom may perform better in a calmer setting with clearer instruction. The environment can also activate or soften inherited risks. Someone may have a family history of anxiety, addiction, or depression. That does not guarantee the same outcome. Supportive relationships, coping skills, exercise, stable routines, and early help can reduce risk. Stress, isolation, and repeated trauma can increase it. Parents sometimes hear this debate and feel blamed. That is not the point. Nurture is not only parenting. It is the whole world surrounding a person over many years. A teacher, neighborhood, peer group, illness, financial stress, social media, or one trusted mentor can all shape development in different directions. A practical example is confidence. Some people seem naturally bold, but confidence is also built through repeated experiences of trying, failing, recovering, and being taken seriously. A naturally shy child who gets safe practice can become confident. A bold child who is constantly humiliated can become guarded. Another example is aggression. Biology can influence impulse control and emotional intensity. Environment decides what happens next. A child with strong emotions may learn words, patience, and repair if adults model them. If the same child sees threats everywhere and never learns regulation, anger may become their main survival tool. Genes can also influence the environments people choose. A naturally curious child may seek books, experiments, and new friends, which then strengthens curiosity further. A child who loves movement may choose sports, build athletic skill, and receive praise for energy. Nature can nudge choices, and those choices create more nurture. This is why identical twins are so interesting. They may share the same genes, but they still have different experiences, relationships, accidents, friendships, and private interpretations of life. Their similarities show biological influence. Their differences show that experience keeps writing on top of the starting code. Culture matters too. A behavior praised in one culture may be discouraged in another. Direct eye contact, emotional expression, ambition, obedience, independence, and family duty are all shaped by cultural expectations. The same child may learn a different version of themselves depending on what the surrounding world rewards. The debate becomes most useful when it helps us avoid hopelessness. If everything were only nature, change would seem impossible. If everything were only nurture, people would be blamed for not changing instantly. The truth is more humane. People have starting points, but those starting points can be shaped over time. For self-understanding, ask two questions together. What patterns seem to come naturally to me? And what experiences trained those patterns to become stronger? A person who avoids conflict may have a cautious temperament and a childhood where disagreement felt unsafe. Both pieces matter if they want to respond differently now. For raising children, the lesson is not to control every outcome. It is to notice the child in front of you. A sensitive child may need patience. A fearless child may need boundaries. A restless child may need movement. Good nurturing works with temperament instead of pretending every child begins the same. Nature gives the first draft. Nurture edits it, stresses it, protects it, and sometimes helps rewrite it. A person is not only their genes and not only their past. They are the ongoing result of biology meeting experience again and again. That is why change is possible, but never as simple as flipping a switch. The clearest takeaway is this: development is a conversation, not a contest. Biology matters. Environment matters. Choices matter. Timing matters. When we understand that, we stop asking whether a person was born this way or made this way, and start asking what combination of forces shaped them, and what can shape them next. This debate also matters because people often use it to judge themselves. Someone may say, "I am just born anxious," or "My childhood ruined me." Both statements may contain part of the truth, but both can become traps. A better view is that biology and experience explain the pattern, while new experiences can still influence what happens next. School performance gives another everyday example. A child may have a natural strength for numbers, but a humiliating math teacher can make them avoid the subject. Another child may struggle at first, but patient coaching can build skill. Ability, confidence, and environment keep interacting instead of staying in separate boxes. The same idea applies to emotional regulation. Some nervous systems react quickly and intensely. That can make frustration, fear, or excitement feel bigger. But repeated modeling from calm adults, predictable routines, sleep, and language for feelings can teach the child how to handle that intensity without being controlled by it. The point is not to measure a person with a perfect percentage. Nobody can say a personality is exactly 60% nature and 40% nurture. The useful question is more practical. Which parts of this pattern are inherited tendencies, which parts were trained by experience, and which conditions could help it develop in a healthier direction?